Well, it's time for another Bentley video. Here's Bentley, my beautiful cat. If I get any closer, the camera won't be able to focus. He's sitting in the window. Bentley! Oh, look at Mommy. Aw, that was kind of mean, wasn't it? He's doing pretty good tonight. He's sitting in his usual place. This is what I call levitating. He's quite a few feet off the ground. His rump is here and his front end is there, and in the middle he got a whole bunch of nothing. But he loves it there. You know, cats like the weirdest places. This kitty was not a happy camper at Halloween. He's a pretty young cat. It's only the second Halloween he's been with us. First one we kept him upstairs, and we should have done that again. He was scared. Every time somebody came to the door, he ran away. Then he had to run back. You know, he wouldn't hide. He had to keep guarding the house. He says, "What a boring story, Mommy." Oh, you did a boring story. No, it isn't. So he ended up being upstairs with me. And then the next day, we had to be out all day long. And that's what bothered him more than anything. This kitty has abandonment issues. We had to go visit our financial advisor in Vancouver, and that took most of the day. He doesn't like it when we're out a long time. And when we came home, his eyes were huge. He wouldn't settle down. You know, instead of going to sleep on the couch, he would sit on the couch, and his eyes were like, "Putty, look at Mommy." His eyes were just huge, kind of like they are now. Oh, he says, "I'm bored with this. This whole game bores me. I'm going to go somewhere else." I was going to talk a little bit about his abandonment issues, because he does have them. I had a pet bird, and if I start crying, forgive me. I had a lovebird named Paco. I had her for like 2 weeks, and she died. And I was beside myself. There's no way in the world I was going to have another cat. We'd had a cat who died, and Bill and I said no more cats. And my daughter kept saying, "Come on, you guys, you got to get a cat. You're retirees now. You know, you're pensioners. You need a cat." So, what do you know? I found myself on the SPCA site looking at this kitten and that kitten, and all of a sudden I see somebody who's not a kitten at all. I see a year-old cat. There's a picture of him looking very self-possessed. He has a certain air about him that's just fascinating. I couldn't keep my eyes off this photo. I showed it to Bill and said, "Maybe tomorrow we should check this cat out." And Bill says, "Let's check this cat out right now." Putsy! So we got in the car. He knows he's performing here. Oh, look at him. What a good kitty. A real yawny kitty. He looks almost like an Abyssinian, doesn't he? Anyway, we went, and he was in a room alone. Sort of like a dorm room for cats, a very tall room. He jumped right down off the highest point, ran up to me, and I just scooped him up in my arms and melted. And we melted together, and yeah, like pancake batter, didn't we? It came out in the fullness of time that Bentley had a history. He was a stray. We don't really know what kind of home he came from. His manners are really beautiful. He's a beautifully behaved cat. He's gorgeous. The thing of it is, he was found wandering and with a huge, big dog bite in his back. So a dog had picked him up and thrashed him. He had puncture wounds, and he was all shaved down. And so, I mean, he had every reason to be terrified. But when we brought him home, he was good. He sticks pretty close to us. He guards us. He's a very protective kitty. Not just the house, but us, the furniture, and everything. He rubs against us. He rubs against the tables. He must have given it back to that dog, because he managed to get away. He doesn't seem to be afraid of too much except the doorbell ringing too often. And people dressed in weird costumes. He says, "Mommy, Why would I want anybody coming in my house who's dressed funny? You look beautiful. You do. Look at those eyes. His eyes just fill the screen. So that's why I love Bentley so much. I love Bentley so much because he is Bentley. And that's the only reason to love anyone, is because they are who they are. And this kitty is who he is. He's very much an individual. He has a history. You know, he's been around. And he's been through some things. He went through some trauma. And I don't think he's scarred, but every time he bends over a certain way, I see a little patch on his back that's still got no fur on it. And I think that's beautiful. That's his dueling scar. And it makes him very, very sexy to the girls. So I guess that's about all for now. Oh.